Guys, so I'm here today recording a video because literally all the drama that has happened in the span, or at least it feels like, in the span of like 24 hours is insane. Like, it's insane. I am here today to talk about three things. The first one being Nathan Chen. I'm sure by now you've already heard what went down, but let me just break it down. And if you want to see literally my real-time first impression reaction to this whole thing, you can go watch it on my live stream, which is when I literally found out about this whole mess. Essentially, it is the Nathan Chen statement about what it is like to be in a sport that is perceived more as feminine. And the first transcript that I had seen about his response, and I do not know who posted it, it just got sent to me, and I don't believe that person posted it, somebody else did. It said, as a straight male in a fairly, homosexual-dominated sport or LGBTQ-dominated sport, I think that there is a connotation. The interviewer asked about a figure skating being seen as a female sport, and there's like that, well, we don't really want to watch guys skate around, and dance for us. We rather, we watch hockey, females do that, which I think is pretty messed up, which, let's just say that the amount of in here should let you know that we're going down a bad path. If you ever are speaking a sentence and you're stuttering and saying this amount of just shut up. Just shut up, because what you're saying is just going down the wrong path. You're saying it in a wrong way. He continues, in itself, you know what I mean? We are doing this this is for us a genuine sport. We spend our whole life trying to hold on to this craft, and then sort of be a little this is not something that is generally taken lightly. But I think that, a lot of us, a lot of my friends who are skaters are trying in a sense to change the way that that's approached. And if you got a headache just from listening to me reading the statement, yeah, this obviously was a spoken interview, which is why the sentence is not really coherent. But these words, specifically these words, lit the internet on fire, and rightfully so. And before I say what I think about this, again, you can watch me in real time react to this over on the live stream. Let me read a quoted statement that is a little bit more coherent so that we're all on the same page. And this is a statement I'm seeing for the first time today. The question, as it is presented in this format, says, is that a thing that happens to you all the time where people just go, well, why don't you play hockey simply because of the connotation that ice skating is feminine? And the patriarchy said that hockey, because you're hitting each other, is masculine. Is that something that comes up? First of all, can I just say that the person that asked this question really thought they were doing something, really thought they were being woke by asking this question? Anyways, let's get going. Nathan says, yes, certainly, especially as a male athlete, as a straight male athlete, in a fairly homosexual-dominated sport or LGBTQ-dominated sport, immediately trying to fix that. He says, I think that there is a connotation that we don't really want to watch guys skate around and we'd rather watch hockey, or we'd rather watch females do that. The way he said that sounds so wrong, which I think is pretty messed up in and of itself. We're all doing this for us as a genuine sport. Let me get into that later. We spend our lives trying to hone this craft, and just sort of be belittled like that is not something that is generally taken lightly. But I think that a lot of my friends who are trying to, in a sense, change the way that it's approached, because traditionally speaking, we always skate to a lot of classical pieces, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that's absolutely fine. I think that's something you're passionate about, that you connect with, and that's totally cool. But I think that there can be pieces out there, some of my friends and skaters like more pop or hip-hop style songs that generates a lot more interest. Oh dude, one of my friends skated to Turn Down for What, and people lost their minds for that. And obviously that's not the most absurd song, but within the skating world that's pretty kind of out there. And I think just having a little bit more hip-hop or more dance feel that doesn't necessarily gear towards posh sort of ballet style movement can shift the approach towards skating. So why are people mad? If you're still not getting why people are mad, it's because the question asked in and of itself was very, how do I say this? It was almost setting Nathan up. So skating is gay, right? And then Nathan's response kind of co-signed that by saying, yeah, it's pretty gay, but me and my straight male testosterone are here to change that by dancing to hip hop, which is also perceived as straight. That is what people literally heard. And I think using words for us it's a genuine sport kind of makes it sound like anything that is inherently feminine, or any person who is a female doing a sport that embraces artistry and feminine qualities makes it not athletic and makes it not a quote-unquote genuine sport. And here's what I have to say about this whole situation. So first of all, I think that initial statement, the one that had the 20,000 you-knows, was definitely incendiary and misrepresented his entire statement, and I understand why that first statement got everybody heated and even got me heated, as seen on the live, because it really does kind of just pinpoint certain aspects of his response, which, might I add you, once we read the entire full response, he really is trying to say the right thing, but he just said it in the wrong ways, using sentences like, it's a genuine sport, or homosexual dominated or LGBTQ dominated sport, or me and my friends are trying to change that. All those things sound wrong. It sounds almost like you're calling anything that's inherently feminine or anyone who chooses to embrace their feminine qualities within the sport as not an athlete, and then calling thereby the sport which embraces such artistic feminine qualities as not a sport at all, and only through masculinity can it then become a sport or a quote-unquote athlete within that sport. So it sounds wrong, but I really do think he was trying to say the right thing. And once we read that entire statement, you really do see himself correcting himself and trying to push the correct narrative. I will say it again. I don't believe he is homophobic. I don't believe he is a toxic male. But I do think that toxic masculinity and the environment of toxic masculinity that thrives, honestly, in sports like figure skating, believe it or not, figure skating has a lot of toxic masculinity in it precisely because it is perceived as such a feminine sport that the few straight males, which there are only few in there because other males are either not encouraged or are persuaded away from the sport due to toxic masculinity and people calling it a quote-unquote LGBT or gay sport. Those few straight males that are within the sport will be harassed, will be put down, will be forced to question their own sexuality, will be told that what they're doing is somehow inherently in conflict with their sexual orientation, which makes no sense because a sport is just a sport. It has nothing to do with who you are. But he misspoke. I don't think it comes from a place of hate. I just think that this honestly is going to be a moment for him to have some introspection. And the next time somebody asks a dumb question like, are you concerned that you're a boy in a feminine sport, which is essentially what this is, even though they thought they were being woke by asking it, he's going to say, it doesn't matter how the sport is perceived, and my sexual orientation has nothing to do with how I do in that sport, whether I thrive or I don't do well. Who you are and who you like does not impact whether you're good at figure skating or ballet, and anyone can enjoy this sport. It is a sport for everyone, and it is a sport regardless of whether people choose to explore their femininity or their masculinity on the ice. That is an answer that he's going to learn to give. He's going to be more eloquent, and I don't think this is a moment where we should quote-unquote cancel Nathan Chen. And whoever is trying to turn this into a fandom war, stop. It is not a fandom war. I'm not even going to say like which fandom, but I'm thinking the one you're thinking of, yes. This is not a fandom war issue. This is just a Nathan Chen misstep because of the culture that he's been raised in. I do not believe it comes from a place of hate. I do not believe the statement has malicious intent. He was trying to say the right thing. He just chose the wrong words because he has been brought up in a toxic environment and in a toxic society, which, spoiler alert, we are all in. The patriarchy is real and toxic masculinity is around us. And even Yale boys are not, or maybe even especially Yale boys, Ivy League boys, are not immune to their effects, even the ones who are ice skaters. But I do think that that first statement really misrepresented his ideas, and I understand why a lot of people got mad from that statement. Also, besides the fact that you just get a headache reading it, I think everybody got a little bit mad and a headache. And then the second statement really kind of does show where he was coming from, and I still support Nathan. I still believe that he's going to do great at the Olympics, and I think that this is going to be definitely a learning moment for him. He's going to look within himself, and he's going to look at this situation and see what it is that made people upset about the way that he said things. But as I said, he is just as much a victim of the toxic masculinity surrounded him, and that has sadly festered also within him, and he feels a need to overcorrect it by choosing poor words to make his point. Next drama that I thought was the only drama around, but apparently not. Tatiana Navka versus Gabby and Guillaume. And if you're thinking, what, who, where, what, why? Tatiana Navka is a former ice dancer who now is most well known for putting big figure skating productions. Averbuk is the one that has the most experience and also puts big figure skating productions, shows, etc. He's usually Zhenya's show, and then Tatiana Navka is Alina's show. Literally, Alina is on her profile picture on Instagram right now because that is the show that Alina is doing right now. And Tatiana Navka, known for this very well-funded, high-quality ice skating shows, she got into a bit of a, I don't know what to call it, just back and forth on Instagram. So basically, she posted a big, long post talking about how she can't believe that people are allowing men, honestly, also along the same lines. I don't know why gender is such an issue for people. If it's not affecting you and people are living their best life, just let them be. But she was hurt somehow that this man was doing rhythmic gymnastics, and it caused so much pain within her that she felt the need to put a post talking about how is it. It's not about being progressive or tolerant. It's about the fact that my kids might see this and then they might turn gay. She didn't say that, but that's what she was insinuating. You can read the post if you like. You can pause it, or you can just watch the live stream where I read it entirely. And obviously this caused an uproar, as it should. And Gabriela Papadakis, was one of the people that decided to respond, and she responded on her story saying, "I'm really saddened to see that in 2021 there's still such a great lack of openness and respect for others in different and self-expression. I would like us to realize that this kind of public attack is destructive and hurtful. All my thoughts and support to the athlete on the video and everyone else who felt attacked by these unacceptable comments." And then she put a little pride flag at the end with a little peace sign emoji. And Tatiana Navka did not like this. She felt even more attacked. And she was like, my last post caused an uproar, especially by Gabriela Papadakis, who decided to put it on her freaking Instagram. This has nothing to do with LGBTQ people. I never mentioned them by name. I don't know you were making this a bigger issue. I'm paraphrasing and embellishing. And what I don't understand is, why would she tag Gabby? She literally added her in the post. This is the most followed figure skater on Instagram, by the way. She has 1.5 million followers, or I think it's over 1 million followers. And she tagged Gabby in a post that was very obviously against Gabby and very hateful towards Gabby. And now all of her freaking followers, this is where I have the biggest issue, all her followers are gonna now go and also attack Gabby. Literally, after being told these kind of public attacks are destructive and hurtful, what did Tatiana Navka do again? She publicly attacks by literally tagging Gabby. You need to change your name to Tatiana Karen, because this behavior is just crazy and illogical. And then she had the audacity to put a poll on her Instagram being like, am I not allowed to voice out my opinion, yes or no? To her millions of followers who are obviously going to agree with her because they follow her. And now they're also going to attack Gabby. Like, what? Why would you do that? And so then Guillaume also put an Instagram story being like, what the hell is going on? And so they were beefing, and I thought that was the biggest piece of drama. But no, Nathan Chen entered the chat. And then the last news that we also talked over on the live stream is that apparently in an interview, Alexandra Trusova said that she has not gotten vaccinated because she just doesn't want to. And so people were calling her anti-vax. And I was just like, girl, of all the people in the world that need to be vaxxed, you as an elite athlete who wants to go to the Olympics, who wants to participate in international competitions to be qualified for the Olympics, just go get vaxxed, girl. Even if you don't freaking believe in it, if you don't want to, you do want to go to the Olympics, so just get vaccinated. That's what I don't understand, not to get too political, but if you really do truly think that nothing helps, that vaccine is going to do nothing, then just get it anyways. Just get it anyways. And I really am cheering for this girl to get to the Olympics. And I think most people were heated because we were like, oh my god, Sasha's anti-vax. No, I'm pretty sure that Sasha has been vaccinated with everything else, just not the coronavirus vaccine, which is the most important one. So like, what the hell? But this does not mean she doesn't believe in vaccines, which is what anti-vax means. She's not anti-vax, or at least from this interview we can deduce that she's anti-vax. We just know that she hasn't taken the vaccine, the coronavirus vaccine, because she just doesn't want to, which makes no sense if you want to go to the Olympics. It's just logically, it's a bad plan, girl. Just get the vax. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is heavily influenced by her parents. Not to mention that she is Russian. Russian society has been very vocal about the fact that they're apprehensive about the vaccine and its qualities and its properties. I mean, you guys are acting like we all didn't see Russians continue to go to competitions when everybody else in the world was just stopped. They refused to shut down their competitive season, which honestly a gift for us because we were very thoroughly entertained. Thank you, Russia. But at the same time, nobody was wearing their mask. And if they do, they wear it only onto their chin. Their nose is out. So, like, why are you surprised? She's a Russian girl in Russian society whose parents probably are spewing this coronavirus vaccine hesitation. And what I don't understand, though, is that you are an elite athlete and you will have to be vaccinated. Mandatory for you to fly to some of these countries where you're going to have to compete. So just get vaccinated, girl. And that's literally all I have to say. I'm still cheering for her to get the Olympics. And yeah, it was a lot. If you enjoyed any of that, and you just wanted my quick hot take, and want more of my literally first impressions to both of the Nathan and Sasha situations, you can go over on the live stream. And also announced on the live stream, my merch store is up and running. Guys, good freaking news, but it's actually the opposite. They don't ship in bulk internationally. They only ship on demand internationally. So right now, officially, the merch is open to anyone in the world. Anyone. I will literally put up all the countries that are available for you to get shipped to right now on the screen. I'm literally scrolling right now. So if you want to buy anything from the store, whether it is a pink podcast names hoodie, which I just added because I didn't know hoodies were going to be so, even though keep in mind they're a little bit more costly because they're more fabric, or just the simple, my favorite, the light blue guys shirts with a little exclamation point in the front and the guys in the back. You can get it shipped anywhere. And once you do buy them and get them, please don't be shy and just tweet at me on Twitter a picture of it. You don't even have to show your face, just it'll warm my heart. So yeah, anyone who want to buy anything from the merch store, go. They're all available internationally, US and everywhere. And if you want to join the Patreon, as always, link is down below. Shout out to Natalia, Leslie, Scotty, and Timothy. As always, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.